All right, hello my friends, this is Noah and we are going to take apart this computer and put in this wonderful new hard drive. So I'm sorry for the view that we have going on here. As you know, I'm not really set up for doing much in-person filming, but this is my PC. I have turned it off and I have removed all of the cables. So I'm gonna say this now because I have a feeling somebody will say in the comments, why didn't I show me turning off my PC and removing all of the cables from it? Because nothing is attached right now. All these are detached. If you can't do that, you probably shouldn't try and replace your hard drive by yourself or add a hard drive. Okay, so I trust that if you are watching this video, you are going to be able to power off your computer, unplug everything. You want to avoid static and all that kind of stuff. I trust that you are able to do all of those kind of basic prerequisites, so I didn't feel the need to show it. So what I have is I have my computer, I have a SATA cable. This came with my motherboard when I bought it, and luckily I still had it laying around in the box. And I have my hard drive, which is this, let's see, it is a Crucial SATA 2.5 SSD BX500, 1 terabyte. Does 540 megabytes per second. And it was cheap. So, oh man, people love unboxing videos. Let's do some unboxing of this hard drive. We're gonna open the side. Now, I will note, it did have tape here. I cut the tape before the video. So we're gonna open it up, and what do we have inside? A hard drive. Who'd have thunk it? Okay, so we have a hard drive, just like we'd expect. And now you can see my massive unboxing skills. Oh, come on. I say that as I can't get this open. Okay. So what do we have? We have this piece of paper that I'm gonna promptly ignore. We have the actual drive itself. Ooh, it's nice. Surprisingly light. I haven't held one of these before. I'd say it weighs just about the amount it weighs. So we are going to take this. I'm gonna put it back in its little fancy thing here. Actually, first, let me show you what we're going for. This little cable is going to plug in to this little spot, but I'm not gonna do that yet because we don't need to. It's actually gonna go this direction. You see, it only fits one direction. That's what I'm saying. This stuff isn't rocket science. Let me move this a little closer to the camera. So you can see it's got two places, a big one and a little one. And then our cable is a little one. So when we look at it, there's two different ways you could go. You go this way, which is wrong. How do we know that's wrong? Well, this has this, I'm not in camera, there we go. This has, see if this will focus, a little nubbin on one side. And when we look at the hard drive, it's got a slot for a little nubbin here. So we line up the little nubbin with the little nubbin. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Ooh, that was a strangely satisfying click. I enjoyed that. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna throw it to the side. And by throw, I meant place. Then I'm gonna take my boxes and I'm gonna literally throw them to the side because I don't care about them. So how do we take our box apart? If you've never done this before, it's not terribly difficult. Most cases I've had on the back have some little screws. One of mine is back here, so I'm just gonna unscrew that just like a regular screw would be, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. It's also got one up here at the top. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, then there's this little handle over here on the left. I'm just gonna gently pull backwards so you can see it kind of popped out, and then it's going to pop out like this. And if you can, in case you didn't notice, this case is on its side right now. I don't have it standing up. So let's go over what a few things are in your computer in case you're somebody who bought your computer and don't know what it is. Also, please no super mean comments about my computer being dusty. I know, I just didn't have any compressed air. And yes, I did go through and actually clean it out a little bit before filming this video. And no, I won't tell you what I used to do it because all you computer builders out there are gonna be like, oh, that's not the right way. You should have used compressed air. Yeah, I know how you're supposed to do it, and I know how I did do it. And I didn't static shock anything. So in theory, my computer's still gonna boot up when we're done. So let's take a look at what's here. Down here in the bottom, we have our power supply. This has a number of cables that run up and go up into different pieces. This big piece on the back runs all the way from the left. Whoa! knocked over my camera. Almost sent you guys flying. So this piece over here in the back is the motherboard. It runs all the way from the bottom to up here towards the top, and it's what everything is connected to. It's the mama of our computer. It runs everything. So then here, this is our graphics card. This is my normal person graphics card. It's a 4060 with 8 gigabytes of RAM. I know. All you guys out there are like, no, you like LM so much. Why don't you have 3090 or a 4090 or a 5090? Well, you also know I don't pay for nothing. So this is what I got and it works okay. This you might not have in your computer. This is liquid cooling, goes up into a radiator up here with some fans. This is liquid cooling for my CPU. CPU lives underneath of that. This here is part of the motherboard. Over here, these guys are RAM. So if you want to add new RAM, you can see on my motherboard here, it's probably hard to see from this angle, but there's actually 4 slots, and this is in slots 2 and 4, because if you only have 2, that's what you're supposed to use on this particular board. But if I wanted to add 2 more, I could do that. But it is very, very, very important that you pay attention to the speed of the memory you have. And so the easiest thing to do, if you know what's in there already and you just want to double it, just get the exact same brand, exact same speed, exact same everything. That's how I would do it to avoid problems. Now, filming this video, as I was purchasing my hard drive, I was thinking, you know what, Noah? I think it'd be fun to go from 32 gigs of RAM to 128 gigs of RAM. And then I realized that's a never-ending money spending spree, so I didn't. The next thing, is it visible here? No, it's not, but just above my graphics card, let me see if I can get this camera a little bit more this way. Okay, so in here, there is a little thermal piece, and below that is my NVMe slot. Now, I'm a little daft, and I think this is also 2 more NVMe slots here. So those of you who are wondering why I bought a SATA and not an NVMe, it's because I'm an idiot and didn't realize there were 2 more NVMe slots on my motherboard. So if I end up liking this, I will actually go buy a better, by better I just mean larger, NVMe-based SSD, and then I'll convert everything to that probably, and then just keep my current one as well as this new one as a backup. So the rest of what's in here, fans. These fans go to the radiator. We have a bunch of cables. They connect the motherboard to the power supply, connect the GPU to the power supply. These here are what part of the liquid cooling system. And back here, we connect all of our fans and other peripherals to the motherboard itself. Now, what do we do about this fella? Well, this isn't too hard, because what we're gonna do is just look for where this could connect. Now, your motherboard will come with a diagram, and it will show you where to plug it in. If I were a smarter person, I would have looked at that diagram. I did not, because I'm dumb. But I'm trying to read what is here, and I believe where this is going to end up going is quite simply down here in this sideways slot. So down here, you can see there are 2 kind of blocks. And what you can't see is on the side of the blocks, there's a little plug that looks just like this. So I happen to remember that my motherboard has 4 spots for SATA drives. So I'm gonna make a best guess that since there's 4 and it looks just like this, this is where it's gonna go. But I would suggest, if you are doing this yourself, on your computer, you take the time and energy to take the 14 milliseconds it would take to walk the 5 feet over to your box from your motherboard that has all this information in it. But I'm not gonna do that because I'm lazy and I'm pretty sure I'm right. So I'm just going to take my cable and plug it in. Not really sure which direction it goes, so I'm gonna be kind of gentle. Oh, that was the right direction the first time. Sweet. All right, my friends, we already have my first case of me forgetting something. So let's go ahead and check out what Noah did wrong. So I forgot the power cable. This also was with my motherboard, or maybe it was with my power supply. It probably came with my power supply, but it was in my motherboard box. So I'm assuming it came with one of the 2. Anyway, I totally forgot to plug it in. So what you guys didn't see was I took this thing, set everything back up, ran it, and then was like, how come I can't see anything? And of course, it's because I forgot to plug in my power supply. So let's check out what the power supply cord looks like. On this end, it's got little stick things. These plug into the power supply itself. On this end, it has the big part that plugs into the other end of our wonderful little solid state drive. I should have noticed this by the fact that I only had one plugged in, but I didn't. So let's fix it. So all we gotta do is we take this here, again, notice the nubbin, right? It's got the little nubbin on one side. This guy also has a nubbin on one side. We just connect them together. All right. Kind of do it gently, I suppose. Whoops. As we drop things. It's probably not ideal to drop things, but, you know, it happens. So, get it lined up. Bam, kind of clicks into place, and that's good to go. Now, my power supply is down here. It's this little fella. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this solid state, which got very clearly dusty from wherever I had put it, and yeah, I should probably mount it, but I'm lazy and I'm not gonna. So all you guys who are like really into computers, Sorry in advance for what's about to happen. We're just gonna put it down here and pretend like that's the best place for it and it's properly mounted. And yeah, it's just gonna live. It lives in here now. So what do we do with this? See how this has a little clippy guy? What you can't see is down in here on the back of your power supply, it's also got the clippy. The clippy's at the bottom. It's got a spot that's actually labeled on mine that says SATA. So I'm just gonna plug it in. So I'm gonna take my wire, kinda get it out of the way a little bit, and then I'm just gonna plug this in to the proper slot, which is harder than it seems to do without blocking the camera, mostly because my hands are kind of bigger than they should be for fitting into a spot like this, but that's okay. All right, there we go. So we got it lined up. It'll just snap into place. Makes a very, not quite as satisfying click as the SATA drive itself, but a pretty satisfying click, I must say. I enjoyed that. Lets me know that's actually properly seated in there. So I'll double check that. You know, we should, I know I can feel it deep down inside all you guys who are super into computers and you're like, Noah, cable management. And I'm like, yeah, I just don't care that much. So to all of y'all out there who are upset by the state of the dustiness we have going on in here and the solid state being just kind of like put into this hole, I'm sorry guys, but that's how it's going. So what do we do next after this is there? Well, oh, that's something I didn't think about. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get this case wall back on with this here. I might have to do a little bit of cable management, even though that's not my favorite thing. It's gonna be in the way. It's gonna bother me that I noticed it. Okay, so I'm gonna take this back out, gently, hopefully. Come on, little friend. Come on, you can do it. Okay, see the little guy to unclip it? I'm just gonna unclip him. I'm gonna take this and I'm going to run it through the cable management hole that's actually in the base of this base plate. And then I'm going to feed it up here and plug it back in to my solid state drive. That way, when I drop it back into its little super secret hidey hole here, jam the cables out of the way, I now have nothing that's going to impede the glass case. So the next thing that we're gonna do is pop back on the side panel, like so. I just like to make sure that it's like flat and lined up properly. Give a little jiggle to get it to the right positioning. Check it again, great. Drop her into place. And then I just tighten these hand screws on the sides with my fingers because I don't feel they need to be very tight on my computer that just sits there and doesn't do anything. But if you really wanted to tighten them, you probably could. So I'm gonna leave you guys there. I should have it properly set up now. The next video that, oh, you know what? I'm gonna give you this piece of pro tip here. I just noticed that there is a little vent on the bottom of my computer. You can tell it's pretty gross right now, isn't it? Look how yucky and dusty that is. Take a minute to clean it. It doesn't look much better, but it's better than it was, and I'll wipe it down after I end the video. But clean out those types of things while you have the opportunity and it's easily accessible. Just to help your computer breathe a little better. So, all right, that said, I will see you guys in a minute when the computer is booted back up. All right, my friends, I just realized I recorded the entire thing and forgot to actually turn on my microphone because it was on mute. So here we are when the computer first booted up. All I did was open Explorer and I went to the screen where you could actually see my PC. As you can see, I don't have a lot of room on that main drive, but the drive we just put in isn't actually showing up yet. So what we need to do is we need to actually go into our Windows settings, and that is where we can actually activate this drive, because without this drive being activated, we're not going to be able to achieve anything. So all I did was I went down to the bottom of my screen, I typed in settings, and it pulled open this window you'll see here. Now I have my system settings open, and from here you can see it shows just general information that you would typically have. But what I search for is the word disk, and when that comes up, I click on Manage Disks and Volumes. Now, from here, you can see that first one is actually what we want, and the way I know this is it has the same model number as the actual drive that I had just put into the computer. I don't expect you to remember that, but that's what I remembered that's what it was, and that's what let me know it was it. So you can see it says it's online, but it's not initialized, and when we compare that to the one below, it's online and it's going and it's healthy. So we need to fix this. We click on Initialize, we use this first option here. I don't know what the second option does, so I use the first one. So I'm going to go ahead and click initialize on that in a second. All right. And from here, you can see it's initializing, right? So next I need to click create volume and then create simple volume. I do that, and here I type in my label. I'm just gonna call it Linux because that's what I'm gonna use this for. I'm gonna leave my drive letter the same. You can change it if you want to, but I'm leaving it. The file system, NTFS, is what I'm gonna leave it as. It's the only option actually available. There are some other advanced options that you can change, but I'm not gonna change them. And then if you wanted to specify the size, you could do that, but I'm just gonna use the whole drive. So in a moment, I'm gonna go ahead and click OK to format. You can see it tells me that it's starting it. And then we're going to give it another minute here, and it's going to actually come up. Okay, there we go. Now you can. All right, so now we have our brand new drive for Linux up and running. So super excited about this. So in the next video, I'm going to take you on an adventure as we go learn how to download Pop! OS. I've never installed Linux before, so this should be an amusing one. If nothing else, I will see you guys in the next video. Please like and subscribe to help support the channel and help make sure you don't miss the next video in this series. Have a wonderful afternoon, everybody.